good this afternoon. What's going on, men? It's your boy, Sydney, here with you. Thursday afternoon, I'm on my way heading into the city to have a really cool discussion with one of my buddies about an app idea I had. Could well be the ticket that I'm looking for. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about and I can't remember which video of mine it was that it was on, but I had a lady comment on it. Her name was Rashida. And today's video talks about the conversation that her and I have had. And I'll tell you about how everything unfolded with this. So she put a comment and just said that, you know, it was something to the effect of, you know, I'm noticing how ridiculous a lot of Australian women are. I know a lot of guys feel the same way. I also laugh whenever women talk about patriarchy because, you know, they're not living in a patriarchy. They don't know what patriarchy really is, was the effect of it. And so I sent her a message and I said, hey, you know, I'd really love to maybe have a chat and get some more of your thoughts around this, because it's not very often that I have a woman come on my channel and give comments like that and give me that sort of angle. And I was like, wow, okay, this woman knows what's up. So she sent me an email and said, and salute is kind of like greetings in French. Salut, sydneymgtow. I just read your message. I'm actually returning to France on Saturday, but if you would like to discuss these issues, I'm happy to do so via email or on Google Hangouts. I came across your site quite by accident, but I have discovered that there are... Give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to pull over and read this. So I'm... just pulling in a little side street here. Might even get myself a flake cone from a...
Take the next right towards Victoria Road, A40, then turn right.
Gives me every time. But I kind of like this GPS. You know why? Because what it actually does, it says, today I'm heading towards the city, right? And obviously you guys know I live in Sydney. And it says, take the slip road to Victoria Road, A40, Sydney. And I was like, oh, don't mind if I do. Oh, wait, she means to Sydney, Australia. Cool, not referring to me specifically. I'm just gonna quickly, just give me a second.
Hi there, what can I help you?
Can I grab a flake cone, please?
Yeah, of course. Anything else?
That'd be it.
Thank you. Please drive through.
Thanks. All right. Better get this coin out of that back pocket. Yeah, boy.
$1.10, thank you.
Oh man, hang on. Just on PayPass, please. That's it. Thank you. Man, $1.10 for a soft serve cone with a flake in it. They can kiss my ass. I'm never buying one of those again. Shit, man. All right, whatever. So this lady says, I came across your site quite by accident, but I've discovered there are many Australian men unsatisfied with their situation, and I do sympathize. I am married and have 2 little boys. I was born in France, but my parents are from Tunisia, a democratic society. Although there are many Islamists in Tunisia, I find it very funny when I hear Australian women talking about patriarchy. In Muslim countries, even modern countries like Tunisia, the patriarchy is real. Damn right it's real over there. Whole patriarchy talk over here is bullshit. So I'm just gonna grab my ice cream here. Man, I shouldn't be eating this shit. Reached 85 kilos this morning for the first time ever. Thank you. So this is my little celebration, bitches. Alright, let me find a parking spot and get real with y'all over here. Come on. Move, bitch, get out the way. right. Cool. So, I do not consider that. So in Tunisia, the patriarchy is real. I do not consider that to be a bad thing necessarily. In Tunisia, for example, inheritance laws favor men, but men must look after the women in return. I'm not a religious person, by the way, and I'm totally against Muslim women wearing hijab, burqa, niqab. In France, you cannot do this in public spaces. Until recently in Tunisia, niqab was banned, and still young girls are banned from wearing it in state schools. Australia is far too tolerant of extremist Muslims. All the time I see women with veils being promoted in this country and given voice even on national TV. I was shocked when I saw a Muslim soccer team in this country playing with the hijab. In France, this cannot happen. So I don't understand how Australian women can support real oppression of women and at the same time say Australian men are sexist. It's a great question, Rashida. I've been asking that myself for a very long time, as I'm sure many of you men have also. I don't know Australian mentality very well. I've only been here a few months. Before I spent some time in New Caledonia, I wasn't actually planning to come here. So if you wish to discuss any issues, feel free. Take care. I presume this is how you say it. À bientôt, j'espère, Rachida. Okay, so I emailed her back and discussed some times. Oh, creamy and shit. Bit of cream in the ginger there. Sorry about that. So she emailed me back, right, after we teed up some times, and I haven't actually chatted with her one-on-one yet, as I'm planning to via Hangouts, but she gave me a little summary. All right, things that surprised me in Australia, right? Her words, not mine. First thing, the way young women dress, not always flattering for them, in brackets, overweight women everywhere, especially young women. This is off to a good start, Rashida. Number 2, fact that nobody seems to react as to how you dress, in brackets. Maybe that's okay, but shocks first off. Lots of people walking around without shoes. Number 3, self-segregated sexes, like in pubs and discos, girls together and boys together. 4, very familiar way people address you in shops, etc. Not such a bad thing, maybe. So I presume she's talking about things such as like sweetheart, love, darling, things, just, you know, generic terms of endearment. So, I mean, that was just an observation. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing, per se. Here we go, number 5. You guys are going to love this. Women speak in a very vulgar way. Men are more polite. Interesting observation. 6, TV, mainstream media. Every day, something about sexism, violence against women, feminists everywhere in media. In France, women are less into the Me Too movement. There was a big pushback against Me Too in France from some very high-profile women, e.g. Catherine Deneuve, parmi d'autres. Again, presumably that's how you pronounce it. 7, men wearing turbans, women wearing niqab. You can't do this in France in public spaces and in workplace. Some women wear hijab, but not generally accepted. And before I give you number 8, guys, because you know 8 is a lucky number in Asia, I want you to smash that thumbs up for me. Do that for me now. Thank you. I appreciate it in advance. And if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell next to it to make sure you get all my daily red pill notifications and all of the good Sydney content from your boy Sydney MGTOW. All right, I'm going to hit up number 8 now. Number 8. Naivety regarding Islam. All the time on ABC, I saw... ABC, funny that. What a surprise. All the time on ABC, I saw women with the veil as if you think it's normal. E.g., a program called The Drum. 9. Girls wearing veils in sports team, e.g., female Muslim soccer team from Sydney. Impossible in France. 10. And this is a big one. Children who have no discipline. Parents let them run around and do what they want, like in restaurants, etc. And nobody seems to care, and mothers don't surveil them, aka watch them. Not my words, guys. Not my words. This is a French Muslim woman that visited Australia, and these are her observations. 11. Really strange female accent. There seems to be two types of accent, maybe more. One sounded like constipated, snobby person. The other really high pitch, screech. Well, that would be the feminists, Rashida. I think you'll find they are the most likely to carry on and screech at you. 12. Academic level in primary school. In brackets, I was on teaching stage, close brackets. Low level in maths and literacy compared to France. Now, presumably, when she says teaching stage, I'm assuming she did some teaching work over here, and that would make total sense given the next things that I'm about to reveal. All right, 13. Pupils who think they are equal to the teacher, 8 to 10-year-olds. No quote-unquote distance between teacher and child. Too much love and affection from teacher. Too much artwork and not enough basics. Gee, what a surprise. What a surprise when you have a majority female teaching force. It's almost all females teaching the entire child population of Australia. Why is that, you ask? Well, just simply too toxic an environment for a good male teacher. They're going to get blamed of rape by some girl who never got disciplined at school, doesn't have a father at home, doesn't have any respect for authority, doesn't have any respect for people that are actually trying to help her, and just, you know, casually decides that she didn't like the grade she got, and that she's going to get back at that nasty male teacher by a rape allegation. That'll show him, right? 14. Primary school girls, particularly obnoxious. Always speaking and interrupting in class. Boys take a quote-unquote back seat. Too much love and affection from teacher. Too much artwork and not enough basics. Catching this, guys? I really should keep tissues in the car. That did not end well. Whatevs. Let's continue. Now that I have no more of this to interrupt myself with. 11, 12, 13, 14. Sorry, let me actually repeat that last point, 14. And hear me out here, guys. Listen carefully to this. Primary school girls, particularly obnoxious, always speaking and interrupting in class. Boys take a quote-unquote back seat. You have to force them to contribute in class. Girls always have their hand up, even when they have nothing of interest to say. Too much confidence from girls. 15. Kids who talk down to parents. Parents who accept this behavior and even consider it normal. 16. Kids in primary school who have no knowledge of history of Australia. Well, that would be because the primarily female teaching force are too busy worrying about social justice issues and too busy worrying about patriarchy and gender equity and fucking gender neutral uniforms to give a shit about what actually happened in the history of this country and why we have what we have. This is what happens when you kick men out of schools as teachers. This is what happens when you make teaching an unfriendly profession for men. You get all female teachers, and especially coming out of university, freshly indoctrinated into this feminist SJW bullshit mentality. This is what you get. This is what you end up with. Just calling it as it is, guys. She says, okay, I could go on and on. In France, things are not perfect either. Our big problem is immigration from countries who do not share our values. Until not so long ago, immigrants came from countries who shared our culture. Over the last decades, things have changed and we have lots of Islamists coming to France. My parents are Muslim, but they really don't practice religion. The new people coming are often uneducated and Muslim fundamentalists. Then there are the young kids born in France who are being Islamized by Qataris, who've got mosques everywhere, and they're so rich they invest in poor suburbs as charities, but they are there to indoctrinate. Kind of like our universities, right? Parents don't know what to do. Girls in certain Muslim suburbs can't dress as they want, otherwise Muslim boys insult them. Rape of young girls is on the rise, but no one wants to say because France doesn't keep statistics on race and crimes committed by foreigners. Can you believe that shit? This is really bad for young girls in particular. I don't think it's so bad in Australia. And you know what, Rashida, you're right. It's not bad in Australia. It's not even close to bad. Unless you ask feminists. And then it's terrible. It's rape. There's rape culture. You know, there's patriarchy. There's all of this oppressive white cis male behavior going on that's holding women back from being who they want to be and expressing themselves. Such bullshit. I got something in my eye. Damn. Killing. All right. We have many more Islamists here. I think we have about 20,000 on the terrorist watch list. Police can't cope. Finally, my country, Tunisia. We got rid of dictator during Arab Spring in 2010. Problem was that after there was political vacuum and Ennahda, which is Islamic Enlightenment Party, came to power. Things are better now. Men and women are not really equal, especially regarding inheritance laws, but that will change soon, in brackets, I hope. Big terrorism problem. Many Daesh fighters in Syria are from Tunisia, and they're coming back in droves. But men in Tunisia are generally respected, and they have to take care of their wife and children. Women have lots of power in the home. It's patriarchy maybe, but it seems to work okay. But there are problems, of course. My partner is French, and it is expected for him to convert to Islam before we can marry. On the other hand, an Arab man can marry a French girl, and that's okay, so that's not good. The fact we have children and we're not married is considered disgraceful by some of my family. Well, we don't care really, but there is a lot of pressure in Arab families to conform. So true. Well, I hope this information is useful to you. Please don't think I'm negative towards Australia. I think Australia is a great place. Before coming to Australia, I spent some time in New Caledonia. I don't know if you've been there, but it's really worth a visit. I have several friends who've settled there and live very well. Salaries are high for people with the right skills. Independence vote coming up soon. Australia is keeping a close eye, I'm told. I don't know exactly what Australia is keeping a close eye on, but apparently they are. Don't hesitate to contact me if you want to discuss any of these points. I know I didn't address any just MRA/MGTOW issues, but I think all these points tie up somehow. Take care, Sydney. Bientôt, Rashida. So, now that I've read that out, now that I've kept my eyes, now that I've got that out of the way while I'm not driving. I'm gonna get back to driving, but I'm gonna chat with you guys as I go. Right? Because I really think this is something that we need to chat about. And you know, I think this woman's pretty much she's nailed it, you know, like she's hit the nail on the head. You know? She's really got several good points. And this, you know, it's so true about what she's saying about she has to laugh when Australian women talk about patriarchy. Like Australia is some oppressive patriarchal country that's holding women back and holding them down. Such bullshit. Such complete bullshit. Women have got all the support services they need. Sorry, just making sure this bus lane, I'm not driving it. They've got all the support services they need. They've got affirmative action. They get paid extra superannuation by some companies. They get preferential hiring. Right, even though they commit suicide less, that's focused on more. Breast cancer is less prominent than prostate cancer, but yet there's more fundraising, more care and compassion for that than there is for prostate cancer. Yeah, you know, men are just basically not considered at all. And if there's any feminists here watching, I know they're going to be going, oh, it's all about the men's. It's all about the men's. Well, here's the thing. You wouldn't be here without a man. And you won't reproduce without a man. And if those men say no to you, as many MGTOWs are now doing, it's game over for you bitches. Right? And when I say you bitches, I'm not talking about women as a collective. I'm talking about the feminists. I'm talking about the toxic amongst single mothers. I'm talking about those that think they are entitled to the earth, entitled to the whole world, and yet do nothing to reciprocate. They expect everything and they expect not to have to give anything. And they don't even know where the money's coming from. They don't even know what guys are actually going through. They don't care. They've got no interest. Right? And then when men turn around and say, we're going MGTOW, we don't want to date anymore, we don't want to spend our money and time on women that don't appreciate us. Right? And then they turn around and screech, oh, misogynists, you hate women. It's like, no, I don't hate women at all. I really don't. Far from it. But you seem to be conflating me taking back my own sovereignty and deciding that I'm going to make the decisions about my life, not her. Right? They seem to be conflating me choosing to take ownership of my own life and responsibility for myself and to only be held accountable for myself with women hating and misogyny and sexism and patriarchy, which they don't even know the meanings of half these words. Everything's, you know, xenophobia or sexism or racism or bigotry or misogyny or some bullshit. They just can't help themselves. That's right, Mr. Man. There's no hate. We're just done. Alright, and if you guys saw my video the other day about healthy at every size, the fat positive movement, it's just so much delusion. Like, okay, if you go up to a woman, right, and you're obese and you've got your stomach hanging out, and you know, you've got a triple chin and you've got acne everywhere and you know, your face just looks like a big bubble, you're like, right? No disrespect to anybody who's in that stage at the moment. You know, you've got the opportunity to get yourself healthy. I did it, you can do it as well. But you know, those guys are not going to be attractive to women. they're not going to turn around and go, oh man. Oh, good to see you, Koala Me. Good to see you. Very, very good to see you. Well played, sir. Flick me an email, man. I'd love to chat with you and catch up. Yeah, so us guys, right? Girl asks you how tall you are, and you say I'm, 6'1", and you ask them how heavy they are, and they're like, what do you mean? Why would you ask me that? It's like, well, why would you ask me how tall I am? And they say, well, I only date guys over 6 foot. It's like, well, I only date girls under 100 kilos. And they're like, oh, you pig, you're a misogynist. I hope you fucking die and go to hell. Judging women like that. It's like, are you that stupid that you can't see your own hypocrisy? And I know I've actually got a small portion of my audience that are women. And I haven't really had any headaches in terms of flagging or negative commentary or getting hit up with nasty messages or anything. So it seems like what I'm saying is actually striking a chord with these ladies. And it's really good that you're actually listening to the perspective of MGTOW and actually understanding how that's affecting you in the dating world, and why guys are sick to death of the quote unquote modern woman, right? It's like, you want equality, that's cool. We'll give you equality. We gave you, like, you've had equal pay since the 1980s. Probably had it before that, but it's only just been legally mandated to shut up the screeching harpies. Right? Nobody's going to pay you less just because you have a vagina. It's just the idea that women en masse, even in the mainstream media, can screech and cry and complain and talk about patriarchy and misogyny and sexism and say that they're getting paid less as a collective in each industry or in most industries because they have a vagina. It's just ludicrous. They're not getting paid less because they have vaginas. They're getting paid less because they're not as good at the job that they're doing, or they are doing less hours, or they produce less of an economic outcome in those roles. It's really simple. I mean, women say, oh, well, financial planners get paid less. That's sexism. It's like, well, you have to understand that as a financial planner, if you make less money for your clients, then you will get paid less money by your clients. And this guy next to me is going to fuck right off because I'm taking this lane. That's what I thought. Pushing in like that. So, we're getting to this point now where they're saying, oh, well, this person's a CEO and he's a male. Okay. In fact, I'm going to use the example, right? Recently, there was a movie where Mark Wahlberg and some other actress I've never heard of got called back to reshoot a particular part of a movie. Mark Wahlberg, I think, got like $1.5 million, and the other woman got $1,000. And they're like, oh, this is sexism, this is, misogyny, this is the pay gap. This is proof. This is proof of sexism and the pay gap. It's like, no, nobody knows who you are. You get $1,000. Everybody knows who Mark Wahlberg is, and he names his price. Right? So they're both actors, but because they don't get paid $1.5 million each, then apparently that's evidence of the pay gap. No. Especially if that's the main actor in the whole entire movie, right? You need to get that guy back. Right? If you get some B-grade actor that doesn't want to come back for $1,000 to do their part of the movie so that can be part of their portfolio to get their next role, then fine, cut her out and let someone else step in, right? Right? You think about Think it bothers us to have the ancillary actors getting swapped out? You can't swap out the main actors. That's not the pay gap. That's not sexism. That's not misogyny. That's not bigotry. That's not vagina hate. That's just market supply and demand. Right? That's like a woman saying, oh, I sold my car and a man sold his car and he got $50,000 and I only got $6,000. You know, that's misogyny. That's sexism. It's like, no, you have a Hyundai Excel that's 10 years old. He's got a Mercedes Benz that's 5 years old. That's not a pay gap. That's not misogyny. That's not sexism. And if you're going to hear the whistle of those truth bombs flying in, that's because they're dropping right now. Ridiculous. College feminism has lost the freaking plot. And it is universities, and I've done countless mentions of this. Right? If you go look at my video, it's MGTOW, Uni, aka Feminist Indoctrination Centers. I did it a while back. Go check it out, guys, because it talks all about what's actually happening in universities and the way that people are being indoctrinated. They're being told a distorted version of the world that does not even align with reality. They haven't had a chance to live, and already they think they've got the key to solve all the world's problems. No, you don't. Right? If you do a science, technology, engineering, or maths degree, you might be able to solve some of the world's problems logically. But if you're doing a social science degree, then be prepared to be indoctrinated. Be prepared for the fact that what you got taught by your leftist, loony lecturers, the triple L's, loony leftist lecturers, triple L's, I like that. Be ready to accept that what you got taught by your triple L's is not how the world works, is not aligned with reality, is not actual truth, but more their ideological viewpoint of the world and what they want you to think. I don't know if any of you guys remember that song, Take the Power Back by Rage Against the Machine. It says the teacher stands in front of the class, but the lesson plan he can't recall. Students' eyes can't perceive the lies bouncing off every fucking wall. And that's basically what's going on in university right now. Right? Toyman Blood says their version is TV treated. Their conglomerate universities have riddled with blatant leftism. Absolutely. They don't know what the real world's like. They got no idea. Right? Toyman Blood says money's based on experience, nothing to do with pay gaps ever. And you may have seen that video I did on Jordan Peterson and 60 Minutes the other night, Toyman Blood. And here's the fun bit with that, right? This woman was saying, oh, you know, we've got the same amount of, we've been in the industry for the same amount of time, you know, we've got the same experience, you know, I'm clearly the more qualified one, and I know my worth. So the only reason I'm getting paid less is because I'm a woman. It's like, okay, you know your worth. Right? Straight away, you telling me on national TV that you know your worth and therefore you should get paid more is telling me that you have an overinflated sense of worth. Right? Because if you knew your worth, you would go somewhere else that pays you more, right? Because that's what people who know their worth do. Oh, unless you can't find anywhere that'll pay you more because you suck at your job. Maybe if you focused on being the best chef you could be, and maybe if you took advice from the people rather than complaining about the fact that they get paid more than you, you might learn something and you might get some seriously valuable skills that you can take to the next level. I'm just saying. All right? It's just such a joke that people are carrying on about this. Live Free says women prefer part-time and not full-time. They work fewer hours. What I will say to you, and this is absolute truth, in Australia, women work less hours per week in every age group. every age group, from when they start work to when they retire. Period. There's not one age group in which women collectively work on average more hours than men. Oh, what's that you say? That would make for a pay gap? Oh, yes, it would. It's funny you mentioned that. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. Because that's exactly what it creates, a pay gap. Harry says, they keep asking me how I do overnights. Exactly, right? Because they won't do overnights. They can't possibly contemplate, you know, how people could cope with doing an overnight shift. Unless they're a nurse, of course, and then it's nice and cushy. Craziness. Craziness. Anyway, guys. I'm going to bounce in a second. But what was interesting is in the comment that I got Rashida sent to me, she said that you should come to France. And I thought to myself, well, you know, it'd be interesting to go to France, but I've never traveled alone. And then I remembered my boy Stand Up Men's event that he's got in Sydney at 10 Shepherd Street, Chippendale on the 10th of May, which is next Thursday. Come and see me there. There will be free coffee and cake, and Stand Up Men will be giving a free copy of his ebook, which I can tell you right now is absolutely fantastic. And if you don't have a copy of that ebook and you can't make it, check out the description below and get your $10 ebook, which has a money back guarantee. It will be the best $10 you ever spend on female psychology, particularly in the context of relationships and engaging with women on an everyday basis. So good to see you guys. Please come down. If you're in Sydney, come and see me at 7:30 p.m. 10 Shepherd Street, Chippendale, near Broadway, on the 10th of May. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, and the details are in the bottom of the video that I did a few days back. MGTOW, how to be a man, what your father never taught you. So go check that out, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna bounce for now. Good to see you all. I'm so sorry I couldn't shout you all out, but you know, obviously I'm driving at the moment. I was also focusing on dropping those truth bombs straight on target for you guys. So I really appreciate you all. If you want to donate to this channel, always feel free to do so in the super chat or on patreon.com/sydneymgtow. Even $1 a month really helps, guys. Would really appreciate it if any of you can spare that. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.